I'm also checking and we're on time. So thank you, Colin. Having a script is nice. So first year I promised to read a little less from it. And also, if you want me back, let me know at the end, okay? Our first award, this is why you all came tonight. And the first award is one of 2 Ag Advisor Awards. This award recognizes individuals in ag advancement and education programs and similar organizations who have influenced the ag industry through their leadership, guidance, and community involvement. And would you please help me welcome to the stage Kelsey Potter, who will tell you a little bit about the 2026 Ag West Farm Credit Ag Advisor, Kaelber.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight I have the honor of introducing this year's one of this year's Ag Advisor Award recipients, Kara. For 2 decades, Kara has been a driver in agricultural conservation education in Franklin County and across Washington State. From the start of her career, Kara understood that agriculture is more than just a livelihood. It's a legacy of stewardship, resilience, and innovation. After earning her degrees from WSU and Heritage University, Kara joined FCD, the Franklin Conservation District, in 2005. And over the years, she's worked her way up, starting as an educator, then to education director, and now the district manager. She brings vision and empathy and unwavering dedication to both people and the land. Kara is perhaps best known for her leadership in building programs that connect classrooms with agriculture. Wheat Week, it began as a simple idea and has grown into a statewide program that reaches tens of thousands of 4th and 5th grade students each year. Through hands-on STEM education, students learn about soil, water, and food systems through our farmers that grow our food. As a leader, Kara is known for her integrity, her humility, and her genuine care for others. She invests in her team, supports our farmers, empowers our educators, and leads by example. Franklin Conservation District staff and Board of Supervisors, as well as several local farmers, past educators, and district partners came together to support Kara in this nomination, so thank you all for doing that. So with this award, we're really proud to recognize Kara for what those of us who work with her already know, that her impact on her colleagues, our farmers, our communities is deep, lasting, and far-reaching. So Kara, wherever you are, congratulations on being inducted into the Mid-Columbia Ag Hall of Fame.
I'm Kaelber. I'm the district manager of the Franklin Conservation District. I got into ag education in a very random way. I was a classroom teacher. The opportunity came around to work for the Conservation District. I applied for this crazy job teaching students about natural resources. The thing that I'm most proud of has been creating the Wheat Week program. So what started 19 years ago as an education program teaching 1,300 kids here in Franklin County grew into a statewide program that we teach annually over 20,000 students a year. And we've taught them that farmers are good and that wheat itself is an amazing crop. The Wheat Week program is not the only program that I've coordinated here. I also have coordinated the Salmon in the Classroom program, and then I also have created the Drain Ranger program, which is a stormwater education program, and that's about teaching students only rain down the drain. And it ties in so well with our Salmon in the Classroom program because it's teaching those students that we don't want to pollute our land because it could eventually pollute the water where the salmon are living. They're all kind of meshed together, and they all work really well together about teaching students that natural resource conservation is important. Being nominated to the Ag Hall of Fame was a surprise, and I'm extremely honored and humbled. It means that perhaps what I've been doing for 20 years has made a difference. Somebody's noticed. And hopefully it's those farmers that receive those thank you wheat farmer postcards, because it is a thankless job. I understand that. I've met so many of them, and I hope they understand that we are very grateful. The things they do, the sacrifices they make every day. I hope that the Wheat Week program continues long after me because I think it's important that students learn that their food doesn't come from a store, that there's a farmer somewhere growing that food, sacrificing and putting in long hours and long days to make sure that they have food to eat.
Thank you. Good
evening. On behalf of Ag West, we're honored to present Kara Kaelber with the Ag Advisor Award. I first met Kara a few years back when she was interviewing for the Washington State Ag Forestry Program, and I remember being highly impressed with what she'd already accomplished in her curriculum that she provides each year that impacts thousands of teachers and an exponential amount of students. So Kara, congratulations on your nomination into the Mid-Columbia Ag Hall of Fame. And thanks for all that you do to promote agriculture with our youth. So.
Thanks. Good evening. Of course, I had to go first. I want to start by thanking the Pasco Chamber of Commerce and the Hall of Fame Nomination Committee. I'm incredibly humbled and deeply grateful for this honor. I know that I'm only here because of the amazing support system I have behind me. I want to first start by thanking my family, my husband Patrick, and my 3 incredible children, Will, Caden, and McKenna, my bonus daughters, Ashlyn and Olivia. Thank you for supporting all my wild, crazy ideas. You've helped me with salmon releases and special events without a lot of complaining, and you've listened patiently to my many, many passionate rants. You all have always been my #1 supporters. I truly could not have done any of this without you all. You've always been my reason and my inspiration to keep learning, to give back to my community, and to try to set a good example of what dedication and hard work looks like. My mom, I'm sure glad you live across the street from me, because you've been my babysitter, my therapist. You've been my personal chef when I've needed some extra help. And I would not be standing here today if it weren't for the example that you've set through your hard work, your sacrifice, and your unwavering belief in me. And I want to thank the Franklin Conservation District Board, both past and present. Scott Moore, Brian Cochran, Jacob Heinen, thank you for being here. Josh Jungers, Dick Benjen, Mark Wiesler, Steve DeRuiter, George Paulson, Chris Herron, and Brad Bailey. These gentlemen have always had my back. They've supported my ideas and challenged me to grow. I couldn't have asked for a better community of farmers who are experts in their fields, pun intended, and who have unselfishly given their time and wisdom to teach me so much. With that, I also want to thank the larger Franklin County wheat farming community. They are some of the most dedicated, generous, and inspiring people I've ever worked with. I am proud to advocate for wheat, agriculture, and ag education on their behalf. I am honored to be welcomed into their community, and I'm incredibly proud to call Franklin County my home. I began my career at the Franklin Conservation District more than 21 years ago. For 18 of those years, I had the privilege of serving as the education director. During that time, I created the Wheat Week program. And through that program, I've had the privilege of hiring over 50 educators across Washington State, 3 of whom have been with me for over 10 years. Thank you, Megan, Liz, and Jessica. That kind of commitment doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of shared passion, shared purpose, and a deep belief in the value of agricultural education. I'm incredibly grateful for my entire education team. Each of them has taught me something that helped make the program stronger year after year. What started as a dream became something much bigger because of their creativity, their dedication, and their love for teaching the next generation. These programs and this recognition would never have been possible without them. In the past 2 years, I've transitioned to the role of district manager at the Franklin Conservation District, and with that transition came a new team of natural resource experts, Kelsey, Fiona, Elliot, and Riley. Your professionalism is something I truly admire. I'm incredibly grateful for your trust, your dedication to the mission of the Franklin Conservation District, and the way you show up every day with integrity, passion, and purpose. You give me the energy to keep learning, to take new risks, and to expand opportunities for everyone who lives in Franklin County. I'd like to share how the Wheat Week program began. When I first started with the district, I was teaching natural resource lessons in Franklin County, but the funding was running out and the program was going to stop. Around that time, Chris Herron, a dryland wheat farmer from Connell and a Franklin Conservation District board member, came to me and said, I have an idea. The Washington Wheat Commission, they were the Wheat Commission at the time, now they're the Grain Commission. The Wheat Commission has an extra $100,000. Why don't you ask them to fund your education program? And I said, Chris, why in the heck would they ever do that? He says, I don't know, Kara, that's for you to figure out. So I did. I accepted that challenge, and a few weeks later, the idea of Wheat Week quite literally came to me in a dream. I went to work creating a program that would teach 4th and 5th graders about wheat, water, soil, energy, and systems. One lesson each day for 5 days. I thought, why not use wheat as the tool in teaching students the scientific concepts they already needed to learn, with a focus on natural resource conservation. The Wheat Week program also teaches students that farmers are good stewards of our natural resources, that their food doesn't come from a grocery store, and that the lower Snake River dams are important in eastern Washington. Thank you. The program also had to meet state standards. Otherwise, we wouldn't be invited into teachers' classrooms. And most importantly for the students, the program had to be fun. That was no small feat, but that is exactly what we created. Nearly 20 years ago, on a very cold January day, almost to this day, I sat at the Washington Grain Commission in a room full of commissioners. Chris Herron drove me there that day, and he sat in the back of the room quietly as I gave my pitch. And we drove home that day. I wasn't sure what they thought, and he said, you did good, kid. You did good. He called me the next morning to say they funded me for that $100,000, and that's how the Wheat Week program started. 20 years later, Wheat Week is still going strong, and by the end of this school year, come June 1st, we can proudly say we have taught over 300,000 students in Washington State. Chris Herron, who's also known as Uncle Chris around our office and throughout much of the wheat community, took me under his wing and taught me everything he knew about wheat. I learned what a drill was, the difference between a furrow and fallow, and what a rod weeder did, and why there is no better wheat than soft white wheat from the Pacific Northwest. He also taught me one very important lesson, the difference between a red and a green combine. Chris has been a constant source of encouragement and support, and I'm so grateful he presented that opportunity to me 20 years ago. The Washington Grain Commission and the commissioners who represent wheat growers in our state are to be commended for thinking outside the box and for funding such a unique program. In my opinion, no other commodity gives back to the next generation the way the wheat growers do through the Wheat Week program. At the end of each Wheat Week, my educators ask students to write a thank you wheat farmer postcard, and those postcards get sent out to the wheat farmers a few times a year. Farming is often a thankless job, but we want wheat farmers to remember how valuable they are and how important their jobs are to all of us in Washington State and to those who they feed around the world. Thank you to the Grain Commission for taking this chance on me and this program. Thank you again for this incredible recognition, and thank you to everyone who has been part of this journey. I am deeply grateful, truly honored, and proud to share this award with all of you. Thank you.